Good evening, friends. Subh Sandhya. Satyam Vada Dharmachara. Satyamev Jayate. Welcome to today's news desk on the income tax, GST, and corporate laws. Let's start from the income tax laws. CBDT press release dated 26 November 2020. In this press release, CBDT to validate unique document identification number known as UDIN generated from the ICAI portal at the time of the upload of the tax audit report. The CBDT has said UDIN provided for the audit report certificate submitted by the chartered accountant in the e-filing portal shall be validated online with the ICAI. This will help in the bidding out fake or incorrect tax audit report not duly authenticated with the ICAI. Next, Madras High Court matter remanded to decide whether loss from the eligible units under Section 80 IC can be set off against profit from ineligible unit. Loss incurred by the SSC in respect of its units eligible for deduction under Section 80 IC could be set off against income of the SSC from other unit not eligible for deduction under the said section. Next case, Supreme Court. High Court ought to decide writ challenging validity of the Section 40A to be, though matter was sub-judice before the assessing officer. High Court to decide writ petition on merits with respect to the challenges to wires of the Section 40A to be, irrespective of the fact whether matter was sub-judice before the income tax authority. Next case, Madras High Court. Interest on deposit made out of borrowed fund before the commencement of the business constitute income from other sources. Interest earned by the SSC company on short-term deposit made by its with a bank out of the loans borrowed for the setting up of a commercial complex in the pre-operative period before commencement of the businesses was to be considered as income of the SSC from other sources. Next case, Karnataka High Court. Successor company is eligible to claim depreciation on intangible asset acquired under succession. In this case, where under the scheme of the succession, intangible assets of a partnership firm were transferred to assessee company in lieu of the shares issued to partners of erstwhile firm, successor assessee company was entitled to claim depreciation on such intangible asset on cost incurred by it with reference to such intangible assets. Next case, Karnataka High Court. Investment in residential property outside India before assessment year 2015-16 was eligible for Section 54F exemption. Requirement of investment in a residential house in India in order to claim exemption under Section 54F subsection 1 is applicable from assessment year 2015-16 only. Let's cover news on international taxation. Delhi Tribunal fees received towards sub-licensing broadcasting rights of the sports events live feeds not taxable as royalty. Where SSC is Singaporean company sub-license sports broadcasting rights in relation to live feeds to a company, since a live feed cannot constitute a work in which copyright can subsist and broadcast, or to live coverage does not have a copyright. Payment for live telecast is neither payment for transfer of any copyright nor any scientific work so as to fall under the ambit of the royalty under explanation 2 of section 9 subsection 1(4). Let's cover updates on the transfer pricing. Kolkata Tribunal. Transfer pricing officer cannot initiate proceeding against SSC after passing of a final assessment order. TPO cannot initiate any proceedings against assessee after passing of the final assessment order by assessing officer as a reference made by the assessing officer to transfer pricing officer becomes infractious after passing of the final assessment order. Next update, Mumbai Tribunal Dispute Resolution Panel is not justified in accepting royalty rate of the trademark without any content reasoning. In this case, tribunal held that where the transfer pricing officer was not in agreement with the comparable analysis submitted by the assessee with regard to payment of the royalty, transfer pricing officer was required to make computation of the arm length price as per rules and law. Let's cover updates on the GST. Advance Authority ruling Karnataka, no GST on sale of the flats under GDA with developer after issue of the completion certificate. AR Karnataka, amount received by applicant property owner either by himself or through its agents in respect of the sale of its share of the flats consequent to a joint development agreement with developer are not exigible to GST if and only if entire consideration relating to such sale is received after issuance of the completion certificate, as said activities are treated neither supply of the goods nor supply of the service in terms of the Schedule 3 of the CGST Act 2017 subject to clause 5B of the said schedule. Next case, Madhya Pradesh High Court, mere email of the so-called notice to taxpayer wouldn't be suffixed. Uploading on the website is mandatory. Where the so-called notice order were communicated to the assessee by email and were not uploaded on website of the revenue held that a statutory procedure prescribed for communicating so-called notice order under Rule 142 subsection 1 of the CGST Act having not been followed by the revenue demand deserve to be struck down. Appellant Advance Authority ruling West Bengal. RCM applicable on the import of the repair and maintenance services from foreign entity, where the appellant is a local branch of the Russian entity which entered into a maintenance and repair contract with the BCCL and Indian company in terms of which it maintains suitable structure in terms of the human and technical resources at site of the BCCL and ensure supervision of the equipment. It is amply clear that service is being provided by the applicant for entity and condition of the import are satisfied. Next, on GST portal, there is a government issued frequently asked question on blocking and unblocking of eBay bill generation facility. The government has issued frequently asked question on the blocking and unblocking of the eBay bill generation facility in eBay bill portal. Blocking of the eBay bill generation facility means disabling taxpayer from generation of a eBay bill in case of the non-filing of the 2 or more consecutive with GST or 3B return on GST portal by such taxpayer. Let's cover updates on the FEMA banking and insurance Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court disposes of the writ petition challenging interest on the loan during the moratorium in wake of the COVID-19. Where petitioner expressed his satisfaction on the measures taken by the government redressing petitioner grievances and the Union of the India having taken a specific measure widely circular dated 23rd October 2020. This has been brought on the record and follow-up measures were also taken in consequence thereof. Writ petition challenging interest on loan during moratorium was to be disposed of. Let's cover updates on the competition law. Competition Commission of the India, real estate developer isn't a dominant player in Pune due to presence of the other developers. In this case, where due to presence of the other private real estate service providers in relevant market for developing and sale of the retirement homes in form of the residential plat in Pune district, consumer were not dependent on OP alone for provision of the real estate services under consideration. OP developer could not be said to be dominant in relevant market, and therefore question of the abuse of the dominant position within the meaning of the provision of section 4 did not arise. Let's cover updates on the company law. NCL 80, appointment or removal of the director in the annual general meeting and extraordinary general meeting was to be stayed in absence of the notice of agenda, wherein AGM or extraordinary general meeting, new director were appointed and appellant was removed from the directorship in view of the fact that neither any resolution or any minute of the board meeting was in existence, nor any notice of the agenda was circulated in prescribed manner. Appointment of the new director and removal of the appellant as director was to be stayed. Next decision, Supreme Court uphold validity of the Tribunal Rules 2020 with modification orders setting up of National Tribunal Commission. The Supreme Court has upheld the validity of the tribunal, appellate tribunal, and other authorities' qualification, experience, and other condition of the service of the members, Rule 2020, with same modification and order constitution of the National Tribunal Commission to supervise the appointment to and functioning of tribunals. Next update. Under SEBI, Supreme Court upholds SAT orders setting aside ex parte interim order of the SEBI due to pendency of the investigation, where SEBI by an ex parte interim order directed respondent who was the CEO of the subject company to deposit notional gain made by him in trade carried out in a scripts of the company using unpublished price sensitive information, but tribunal set aside that order holding that investigation was pending and there was no urgency for passing an ex parte interim order. Thank you so much for watching News Desk on the income tax, GST and corporate law. We are updating all the updates on the income tax, GST, international taxation, FEMA, company law, competition law, and SEBI. And please share among the professional colleagues and students who are interested in the updation in the legal areas, including income tax, GST, and other allied laws. So please share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching.